Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit that like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm, okay? So, like, share, subscribe, comment if you would like to support the channel. You can support the channel via Cash App or Super Thanks, okay? I'm gonna do a little short video. I'm in the mood for to do a little meddling today. All right. I wanted to talk about Yo Gotti, okay? And the reason I talk about Yo Gotti, I know Yo Gotti and them look at this, okay? And I want him to feel like a fool. I want him to feel like um the destroyer that he is, okay. I want him to know exactly what he did to the city that he grew up in, okay. I was looking at Yo Gotti, okay. I just happened to look at him. I see that he's been traveling around the world, and that would be cool, right? That would be cool for Yo Gotti to be traveling around the world. The only thing about it is I think he's on the run, okay. And we see the type of jets and planes that he's in, and that's cool because young Dolph could afford stuff like that when he was alive. It's cool when they do it, but it was a problem when young Dolph was doing it, right? So much of a problem that they gassed up a bunch of young dudes that are gonna have to go and do life in prison, and some of them are gonna be looking at the death penalty, okay, to go and take young Dolph out. And it seems like to me, out of nobody won. Okay. The only person that seems to really have gotten something out of this at this point, it's gonna turn around, but at this point, and thinks that he's in the clear is the mastermind, the manipulator, right? Because we know all of this stuff started with him and it's really going to end with him, okay? At some point, because God says, when I get him back, you're going to see me get him back. Okay, so we see him frolicking all around the world, and no, I am not hating at all. I just get to thinking about when young Dolph was doing it. You saw him and his brother jumping on Instagram and all of that, talking about folks was wasting money, and because the young man was coming up, bragging about, and he should have been bragging, okay, about how he was able to deviate from a sharky slave industry, because what the industry does at this point is produce slaves, okay. And the cuckabug heads go right along with the program, even though they're the ones with the talent, okay. They couldn't produce slaves, they couldn't make money off of the talent of black people if the cuckabug heads understood their worth just like young Dolph did, right? So he's on the run, because he know what it is. He know them things coming. He know them things coming quick. Don't ever let him tell y'all he ain't never been questioned several times, okay? He know them things is coming. He know what them things is. Them things coming down, okay? And so at this point, because they have so much information, he don't know. But what you get to looking at, when people start telling, okay, when people start, I don't call it snitching, when people start, I'll say start letting the Lord use them, because that's when they start telling the truth so that there can be some justice for these families, to cut out this genocide in the community, because some pink panty cuckabug head Negro can't control his emotions because they jealous hearted. I call that letting the Lord use them, not snitches. They letting the Lord use them, okay. God says he'll use, if he can use a camel to talk and tell, he can use man, right? So when they start, he's noticing that God says, I am the only true God. He's God. These folks is letting the Lord use them, okay. So I think he's on the run, and he's jumping and running to all these countries where he think that he can't be extradited in, okay. I think that's what's going on. and he's putting it on social media. Number one, he's trying to play like, he's got it like that. That's number one. Number two, I think he's playing in the face, trying to play in the face of the feds, like 999, now catch me if you can. Okay. That's just what I believe. Okay. Um, and so, I think it's a shame that the city that he grew up in is in mayhem, and that initially helped his motherfucking ass to get to where he is. Lord forgive me for cussing, okay? Um, that he's left it in this type of mayhem, because when they participated and encouraged these young dudes to go over there and to hunt this man down like he was an animal and to slaughter him, okay? Because that's what they did. All right. Um, and when people say, well, he wasn't a part of where it came from, his camp. How come he didn't stop it? If you can't control the people that you pay, then you ain't worth a damn, right? You ain't got no business calling yourself no CEO, because I ain't gonna be over something and I can't control the people that I pay. I wouldn't care if it was my sister or whoever, right? Okay. So I mean, because when people say, "Well, I can't control." Let me tell you something. He can't control his brother, even though he's supposedly the CEO. I don't know who's really the CEO at this point. Folks been selling out. I've started businesses, like my dad and I has started businesses together. And my dad had businesses where he allowed me to be the head of the projects. Okay. And even though I was over the projects, okay, my dad was the money man. Okay. He was the money man. And so even when my strong personality would rise up, okay, because he had put me over the projects, and I would go, well, I think he would always let me know, you wait a minute now. I put you over this. Okay. I put you over it and I trust you. But what I say is gonna override that, because he would bring my sisters in, and sometimes we would have issues with my personality because I was over it. I was the leader, and he would override it and say, "No, you're gonna work with them, and you're gonna do that right." I'm saying, I'm speaking now. This is what it's gonna be, and he would override me. I ain't never known nobody to be over something and couldn't stop somebody from doing something, especially as it relates to a beef that was his. It was his and Young Doss. It was initially not his and Black Youngster. He went and got Black Youngster and brought him in, so that because he had an epiphany. They had an idea. We'll bring him in because they was grooming him so that he could take the fall in the end anyways. Okay, because they already knew that they wanted to take him out, right? Right. So now he's flossing and flexing while everybody else, wait to wait for them indictments to come down. And the thing about it is, he's crazy enough to think that he's gonna get away. And I'm gonna tell you something. Even if he is to get away, I don't know if folks ain't taking 60 years and the death penalty for folks no more. Okay. And he knows that the feds have been at him, and when they finally get him, that's the reason why he's running. I believe he's running. It is, in my opinion. They're gonna get him for old and new. Okay. Um, when I say old and new, because they have been trying to get him. Okay. Um, but even if he manages to escape man's law, he will never escape God's law. And he is at the head of all of the mayhem in Memphis. He sits at the head of it, and then he gets on his social media with his feet and stuff, his little short legs and stuff propped up, talk about he going to Dubai and all of that, while he and his brother and all of the people around him, they ought to be ashamed of you motherfuckers, all of you, okay? Ought to be ashamed of yourself, because y'all ain't got to do anything for money, okay? I don't care if you is working for him. You ain't got to do it for no positions. And all of you came from Memphis, okay? And then got the nerve to call yourselves some damn men. But he at the head of this. But God says, Gotti, when I get him back for what he did, you're going to see me get him back. Yo, hit men, them pitiful ass men you got around you. How in the hell you going to have a family and y'all let this man put y'all in the midst of this stuff in order to keep your positions or solidify your positions up under a man? Yeah, we'll go take a human life. We'll have go kill that woman's is, knowing damn well you ain't gonna get away with it in the long run. Gotti don't plan on going away from his kids, but a lot of them getting ready to go away from theirs, and they ain't coming back. Okay, they ain't coming back no more. Okay, not until they roll them out of there in that casket, because they're gonna do life, right? But he flexing in the face them little dudes that he sent out and put the battery in their back, and they still doing stuff. Okay, and it comes from that camp. They still in the hood, getting retaliated on. Okay. And I get to telling people, y'all need to be careful when he get around here and get to traveling, because every time he go out the country or he call this stuff out of town, somebody come up dead. Okay. So, but God is in control. Hey, God is in control. But these little dudes, need to think more of themselves. That's what they need to do. They need to think more of themselves. And I know people be wanting for me to, get on my page and go in on these little dudes. I can't go in on. Listen, I've canceled, especially young adult males when they were in their teens and when they, their early 20s, especially when they was over there at juvenile court. I went and counseled with them every single month. Okay. So I can pretty much I can't say that I want to see them do well and then go at them like a bulldog. But what I can do is put into the atmosphere. They need to get their damn lives right and stop letting folks use them. Their fathers need to step in and stop letting OGs like Yo Gotti and them be able to dangle money in their faces and send them out to go get themselves killed or to do life in prison, because that's what's happening. That is the ultimate goal when they come in contact with them. Death or life in prison. That's it. Okay. And so because they get a few like Lil Boogie and we ain't gonna even talk about Black Youngster, because he done messed Black Youngster's life flat up. Okay. Um and some of the others, hey, look at what we making dreams come true over here. You sick. Y'all sick. And so to those little dudes that have not come in contact with them, and when they get to thinking about they want to, take somebody else out, but they'd be a damn fool to be trying to do anything to anybody at this point. And anybody that they can pay would be a damn fool with the way them folks on them. He just got the money to run. The rest of them got to stay in the United States in the same regular ass hood. Okay, that they're paying them to destroy. Lord forgive me for talking about their hoods. Okay. But instead of helping these little dudes the right way, why not start, y'all paying two and three and $400,000 to put bags on people's heads and destroy other people's lives and to commit genocide in an impoverished community that y'all grew up in? Why don't y'all, you could spend, it wouldn't even take $400,000 to fix every house on the street, okay? To put a roof in and fix the streets, okay? On one of those little streets that those little dudes living on, right? But they won't do that. They believe in destroying. And so now he's flexing, because it seems like to me when Young Dolph was taken out, okay, because it was more than them that saw that Young Dolph was a problem. Young Dolph, anytime they smart and they refuse to be slaves, they are a problem, right? But it's a damn shame that cuckabug heads, because of their jealousy and their envy, is so willing to take out a leader, because Young Dolph was a leader. Anytime somebody can go up underground, go up under the radar and learn the recipe and then pop up and be successful and make the type of money that Young Dolph was making and then start teaching other little dudes the recipe, that's a leader. Okay, whereas they don't have to go and sign these 360 deals. And Gotti, you Pharaoh. And what did God say to Pharaoh? Let my people go. That's the reason why I know he coming back for his retribution. And so this should be an eye opener, even to these old ass niggas. I can't, I get to thinking about all these old dudes, okay, that's around them, okay, that's my age in their 40s and some of them in their 50s. I go, it's a damn shame. Hell, we ain't got nothing to look forward to. These damn men on their knees, catering to another man, committing genocide in their community. I had got to do it because God had got to be protected like the president, like a damn fool. If I was their women, I'd say, motherfucker, get your shit and get your ass up out of here, and I'm gonna hit you with child support and alimony. You too damn pathetic to be my man. Okay? You out here committing genocide and putting yourself in a position where you're gonna have to take your ass to jail away from me and these kids. I don't want you for another man. I don't want you. You putting that nigga before you put us. And then all that bad karma start coming into your house. So you have to be very meticulous about who you connected to. Because some people going through some shit that they ain't got to go through. It ain't even meant for them, but they with an old jacked up ass person that's got nothing but karma on them. So they going through hell because they with them. Okay? Because you're going to get it back. But God says, when I get them back, and that goes for Gotti and anybody else, because all the rest of them little dudes that was around, and anybody else that's connected to them, they knew what they was doing was wrong. But folks doing anything for money. I just went along with it. Moneybag, he helped you. I just went along with it. What the boy say? I ain't want no money. I was just happy to see him do well. And you do that? They didn't want to run back to the city and put businesses into the city that they helping to destroy. Out there, little dudes can't even read, but you're putting guns in their hands and not books. Okay? But God says, when I get them back for what they did, you're going to see me get them back. Okay? And I don't wish nothing on nobody, but I just know the laws of the earth. And that is the seeds that you sow, those are the seeds that's going to grow. And they planted bad seeds. Okay, so while he's sitting up with his foot on that airplane and I ain't wishing for it to happen, well, these niggas, because they got on these dudes so pathetic, it's ridiculous. They might just go take his time. I'll go do his time. I'll go do his time. I have to protect him like the president. You got 6 damn kids at home, nigga, and a woman, and you gonna go do life for another man so he can be out with his kids, right? Okay. But see, I know the God of justice, okay? And I don't wish nothing on nobody. So when they think that they've escaped justice, that damn airplane will fall out the air, okay? That's the God of justice. And I don't wish that. But he says that vengeance is mine, okay? That's what he said. So that's somebody he can't put a hit on. He can't put a hit on God. That's the reason why he running. Because he already know karma stepping. She got her red pumps on and she's stepping. Okay? Young Dolph he ascended to another level, but he's still walking around to make sure that his family get justice. And that nigga can go to Dubai or anywhere that he want to go. He going to have to deal with what he did, what he put into the atmosphere. Okay? See, he's content with knowing that the rest of them gonna get it. And he putting a battery in their back because he a con artist. Look, bro, I'm looking out for you. My people gonna take care of you. It ain't nobody gonna take care of y'all, black youngster. Y'all gonna ride. Everybody that was involved, he ain't got that type of power. Y'all gonna ride. Okay, so don't let him finesse you. Okay? But this should be a lesson to these little dudes. Okay? This should be a lesson to them. To stop doing anything for money and stop letting these folks put a battery in your back. It's another one that they putting a battery in his back and the folks is all over him. I ain't gonna even say who he is because I want them to get him. His name didn't even come up in this Young Dolph situation, and for some reason, I just believe he was out there. I'm not gonna say his name because I want them to get him to stop him. because they're about to use him up too. Okay. But God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. And I just had to put that into the atmosphere. And it wasn't no meddling. I didn't even know all the, I just get emotional when I get to thinking about how people, God, well, I'll say God bless them, but God ain't blessed. Everybody that's got money, it ain't come from God. Okay. The devil set people up too. Okay. Because I think about, was it Jesus when the devil, Satan tried to tempt Jesus? Yeah. And Jesus said, Satan, we should not live by bread alone. Okay. Even when Satan tried to tempt Job, when everything, hell was all around Job, he lost his wife, he lost his kids, he lost everything, he lost all his money, and his wife even told him, "Why don't you just curse God and die?" And he wouldn't do it. And what happened? God gave him back everything 3 times or 2 times. And that's what I'm saying. When you do right and you stay consistent, you ain't got to destroy lives. It might look like it's falling apart, and it may look like you need to go and commit hits and do all types of evil stuff. But oftentimes it just be falling together if you walk a righteous walk, because evil can't win. These evil folks ain't gonna win. They on their last legs, and that's the reason why they destroying and going to the hoods to get these little dudes to try and go and take folks out, because they feel like this is what it's going to take for us to stay on top. And these little dudes, because they killing them. The folks is watching them. As soon as they start questioning those little dudes, they start setting them up to have somebody to take them out. They ain't getting the opportunity to get retaliated on. The people that's hiring them taking them out. Okay. But God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. Okay. So the little dude should feel a certain way when he seems to be the only one at this point that's enjoying life while they wait for the folks to hit their door, because they coming. Okay. So at this point, he ain't flexing in the face of whoever he think he's flexing in the face of. He thinks he's hurting young Dolls artists. Them boys making money, and they making real money. And they ain't tied up in no slave deals. The only people he really flexing in the face of is the people that he has made an ass out of to go and commit crimes that's get ready to have them hemmed up in the joint for life. That's it. Okay. But anyways, you guys, that's what I wanted to talk about. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can definitely support the channel via Cash App. And before people come on to my page talking about I'm hating on him, I ain't hating on him. I'm telling the truth. That nigga is wrong. He wrong for what he did. And the rest of them around him too, juke you too. Okay? And so that's the reason why I know that God get back ain't nothing nice. They ain't got enough money. As a matter of fact, they can't put no hit on God. Okay? They can't do it. And that's who's spinning on them. Okay? I wouldn't even want to be tied up with people that's got bad karma around them. I wouldn't want to. And that's the reason why as soon as these little dudes, they send these little dudes out to do something, they're getting caught up. Because they got that bad karma around them. The only thing they're doing is trying to buy time. And that ain't going to work after a while. Because you got to get it back. You got to get back what you do. And it's coming back around. It's already back around. Okay? Leave these folks' damn kids alone. If you can't help the city of Memphis, you motherfuckers, don't you come to a city that you grew up in that's already hurting and impoverished and make it worse. Okay? Get your damn businesses and get the fuck on. Don't come and hijack the city. If you hate it that much, go to Atlanta or somewhere. Okay? But people want to hijack the city and then cause mayhem in the city. Okay? And that's the reason why I know God is spinning. Okay? As my mama always said, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Just fall to your knees. God gonna come passing through. As a matter of fact, he more than likely already in the neighborhood. Okay? It's a darn shame before God. How could they do what they did and not have a conscience about it and think you sitting on top of the world? Okay? But when you think you're sitting on top of the world, when you've done evil, you in the right position for God to show you that I am God. Not you. You don't decide who lives and who dies. I'm the real true living God, not you. Okay? And he gonna see that. Okay? But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Okay. I love you guys. We are having a book meeting tonight. I'll talk to you later.